about a fancy dress party that I went to recently. The theme of the fancy dress party was your costume has to begin with either an L or an S, which I think we can all agree is a standard theme. So obviously my first thought was to go as the graph of Linux. So I would be the axes like that, and then the line would be here, intersecting at 1. But the problem with that costume, and it is an excellent costume, but it's quite hard to, I don't know if you've ever tried this, but it's quite hard to craft a line of exponential decay out of pipe cleaners. And you have to keep your arm at exactly 90 degrees for the whole evening, otherwise it's not accurate. And then if it's not, then it's not the graph of the next, it's just a graph, and then your costume doesn't fit the theme, and you'll be ejected from the party. So then I thought I would go as Stonehenge as a group costume. But the problem with that is that all of my friends are like normal-sized humans, and I'm really short, to the point where I'm actually not allowed to give blood, because they think it would damage me more than it could possibly help anyone else. So, you know, apparently NHS blood banks have the same entry requirements as Chessington, Watford. They don't let me in there either. So I couldn't go as Stonehenge. So I thought I would go as Seaborn Roundtree, who is everyone's favourite historical figure. And Seaborn Roundtree, I want to go as him for 3 reasons. Number 1, his name is Seaborn. That's a funny name. And if you don't agree with that, then I have nothing left to say to you. Number 2, the Roundtree part of his name is as in Roundtree through pastels. And so, you know, he's bringing joy to everyone by inventing those. And number 3 is he did a lot of work and research into poverty in turn of the century England and helped bring about the liberal reforms of 1905. And nothing gets a party started like being reminded of the liberal reforms of 1905. Everyone loves National Insurance Act Part 1 and the sequel, National Insurance Act Part 2. Everyone loves those at any party. But the problem with Seaborn Roundtree is that he was a Quaker. And there's nothing wrong with Quakers, but it's quite hard to go to a fancy dress party dressed as a Quaker and have everyone know that you're dressed as a specific Quaker and not have them think that your costume title is just Quaker. And in this situation, waving fruit passes in their face doesn't really help. So I finally settled on going as everyone's second favourite historical figure, Winston Churchill. But the problem with that costume, which some of you might have noticed, is that Winston Churchill's name does not begin with an L or an S, so Winston Churchill does not fit the theme. So what I thought I would do is add a fun adjective onto the front of my costume title. So I thought I'd go as like sexy Winston Churchill.